And we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Hey guys, welcome to the Superhero Cuts podcast where we talk all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy Stevie Hayes, joined by my brother Jerry, aka Comic Cuts. Brother, how are you today, man? What's going on?
Damn, sorry. I was checking to see if we tweeted that we're on.
Oh, no
And
worries,
of course, I had a video play. Yeah. So we are live. We are back. What is good, everyone? Superhero Cuts in the flesh. Ready to get into it. We got a lot going on right now.
Oh yeah, boy, oh boy, do we have a lot going on. It's honestly been a great week, but it's honestly been a great week, mostly because there's a lot of news going around, which for us, that's always exciting because we can talk about it, and we obviously text about it all week, so that's been fun, dude. You might laugh at this. I've been rereading the Avengers run. I went back.
I've read it. I've read that one twice.
I went back, bro.
It's so good.
So I found a different order. So now I'm reading that order.
That's interesting. What's the new order? What's the different order?
So it's still Hickman, but it mixes issues from the Fantastic Four, from Secret, I think it's Secret Warrior, and like a bunch. It mixes it all into like a different order. So like they have I think they have 2 or 3 different Hickman reading orders for the Avengers, but it doesn't put all of the Avengers like issues in there. I mean, like from the run, but they were saying that it flows on order. So I was really getting my haircut just reading, and I'm like, bro,
damn, yeah. I was just rereading some of the new Green Lantern run because they have an event that's starting this week that sounds really cool called Fractured Spectrum. And basically Tharos is manipulating the emotional spectrum. He destroyed all the Oa Lantern core batteries, and he imprisoned a lot of the Lantern. It's pretty fucking badass. Fun. Yeah, it's really good. And the art is incredible. And I've been reading still reading the Captain America run, which is great. And, it's funny because now people are starting to be like, wait a minute, Bucky's Captain America, what the hell? And Falcon is even getting on his case. He's so it's pretty cool. And it touches on some of the reasons that we've talked about here on why, we think it's cool that Sam Wilson is Captain America, which I ended up watching the new trailer today. It looks great. It looks really, really good.
Brave New World?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how the vibranium's kind of showing when he's used, when he's cutting through stuff, or when you can see the purple on the inside. Very cool feature. Very cool feature.
I am so tired of people pretending like Blue Beetle was a good movie. It wasn't a good movie.
Blue Beetle, it was not a good movie. No.
I told you. I said that from day one, and you liked it, I think, originally, and then you rewatched it and you were like, damn. And I think that nobody really had high expectations. So when people saw it and it's like, oh, okay, it's not like Aquaman 2 trash, which I also haven't seen, but bro, I do not care for the Aquaman movies.
I don't like Aquaman.
I love, and what's crazy too is I always love the concept of underwater stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't know, I never liked Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I think it worked in the Snyder Cut, but that's just because the Snyder Cut did things in the Snyder way and not really the DC way. But
you're a Namor guy, and Namor fits you more than Arthur. Yeah, I'm saying Namor, the freaking the way that Namor is, that's just a Jerry character. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. I love Namor.
And people might hate this. Namor is expressed better in Marvel comics than Aquaman is in DC comics. Namor is way cooler than Aquaman. Way cooler. And Aquaman is obviously more powerful, but Namor is way doper.
Yeah, he's one of the coolest characters of all time. So I'm enjoying the new Namor run. It's about time they gave him a new run. I mean,
fire.
Yeah, but that's
what's up, bro. Yeah, man. So All right, we have a
Tweeted
nice
it.
little docket for you guys. Yeah, we are. I technically am live on X, so it kind of like tweets on its own. If that makes sense. So, all right. Now we're going to get into the first topic of the day. Obviously, this is the title of our podcast today. The T'Challa recast, aka hashtag recast T'Challa. So for Jerry and I, this is a win for us because for the past like 2 to 3 years, we've been talking about the fact that we needed T'Challa recasted. We said this when Wakanda Forever was happening. We've been talking about this for years, and
From day one.
Yeah, we've been talking about this like. Bro, we might have talked about this like the second episode we had on the show.
I have a question.
Together.
Were you always for the recast, or did I convince you initially?
No. I've been for the recast since he announced his death. I thought that they were going to recast for the second film. Like I really thought.
It's crazy now.
I was shocked when they did not recast, bro.
They didn't they recasted William Hurt for Ross. They now recasted Ray Stevenson for Balin Skull.
Yep.
And like the only one they didn't do initially. And that's why people, I hate when people are like, oh, well, they announced they weren't recasting right away. Bro, all they have to do is go on Twitter and see everyone saying, oh, you can't recast. It's so disrespectful. And bro, it's Disney. And Disney around that time, it was a different country. Okay. There was a certain mob of people that whenever they made a demand, corporations were afraid to go up against them, and they had a lot of sway. That's not the case anymore, but it was at the time, and I think that people were very sensitive around recasting T'Challa. And again, I get it. Like cancer, I get that. Someone very close to me had cancer. Like I don't take that lightly. I'm a movie fan. So characters get recasted all the time. That's how it works. It's not disrespectful to recast someone. And you could honor someone's legacy and recast. For the people that are going to complain about it, well, you have a beautiful tribute to T'Challa. And we have that too in Wakanda Forever. I just wish Wakanda Forever was a good movie, because then that tribute would actually mean more than it does. Because let's be real. Who's rewatching Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
No one. Nobody.
Yeah.
And I agree with everything that you say. Like, so I did a recast of T'Challa video on TikTok, and one of the dudes commented, he was like, bro, like, as a black community, like, we can't have the recast. I'm like, bro, like, this is a comic book character, dog. Like, it's not that. It's it is serious, as in we are all sad that he died. And I said this on my TikTok last week. I still get choked up a little bit just thinking about about how he was hiding it. People were roasting him. Like that whole situation is jacked up and sad. And it still hurts me to this day. But as Jerry and I have said, man, this is a comic book character. And the reality is that if you weren't ready to recast, I would have even been fine, bro, if they just put Black Panther 2 on ice for a few years. Honestly, like if you really thought,
should have.
If you really thought that fans were going to get that pissed, you just throw them on ice for freaking 4 to 5 years, and I'm cool with that, bro.
That was also the time where they were heavy on the MCU. They were really heavy on that at the time.
And they took advantage.
Yeah. They didn't think it was a bad idea. They thought that most of the country was on board with that kind of stuff, and they miscalculated. But, I also don't never mind. I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah. Because, so, like, in theory, it doesn't sound bad at first until you put it on screen, and I don't, and I want to be very clear, right? Like, obviously, you guys know I hate the way that they did Shuri in Wakanda Forever, but I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. Like, the movie's all right. And even walking out of the theater, I was like, this ain't bad. But when you read the comics, it's the potential of what it could have been. Like I don't think you guys understand. And I sent you that tweet that Jerry's probably going to do a freaking video on, because he's a big T'Challa and like Namor guy.
Yeah.
And you guys also got to take this into account. Like, Jerry is a T'Challa guy. Like, he loves T'Challa. And I would argue that might be in his top 10 of favorite characters of all time.
Yeah.
So when he says this is because Jerry knows the character that much. And same with me. I love T'Challa. I think that
last week when I had a fat stack of new comics, the first one I got into was Ultimate Black Panther.
Exactly. And you guys don't understand, the T'Challa versus Namor beef would have probably been the greatest beef we might have ever seen on screen.
That's what people don't get. Is like
of all time.
Like me, you know how much I love Christian Bale. You know, Christian Bale, and this isn't my opinion, this is a fact. Christian Bale is the second best actor in the game right now. You know, I'm not biased. I'm able to recognize that Leo DiCaprio is a better actor, but Christian Bale is my favorite. However, I still think Namor was a bigger waste with Wakanda Forever than Christian Bale. Because Namor is a better character to me. And I know some people might disagree with me on that with Gore the God Butcher. But I think you'd be hard-pressed to argue that Gore the God Butcher is a more significant character than Namor in the Marvel Comics universe. Namor is so significant to so many epic stories. And Gore the God Butcher is too, don't get me wrong, but not like Namor. Namor is like, he might be the biggest like anti-hero in the game. You know, so, and especially in the run that like technically we're kind of in with the MCU. You know, there is and Stevie is rereading this run for the second time now. I've read it twice also, which is kind of funny, but it's the best comic run of all time, period, end of story. Anyone who knows anything will tell you. I also saw Comics Explained pretty much said that too. Mm-hmm. You know, and he actually tweeted this. I think I put it on my story, but it was the scene where T'Challa and Namor sit on the Illuminati together. And that Illuminati's mission in this run is to save themselves from the incursion. So Reed comes up with something called the antimatter injection system. You may have heard me talk about this before. But for new listeners, that was a device that they were going to throw onto the Earth that they were colliding with in the incursion to blow up that Earth and save the collision so their 616 could. Anyway, long story short, Namor was the only one that had the balls to do it. And then he had a brutal fight with T'Challa and Black Bolt, and it was one of the best battles in all of Marvel Comics. And don't get me wrong, the scene with Shuri and Namor at the end of Black Panther Wakanda Forever was dope. But you can't tell me it wouldn't have been better if it was T'Challa. We were robbed, like straight up. And I think most of the people that wanted that probably don't read comics. Because if you do read comics, you know the significance of T'Challa to the Marvel Universe. And also, I'm going to make an argument against the social justice side of this for a second, okay? Because I think it was a lot of the social justice type heads that were against recasting T'Challa. But you have to remember what it was like when Black Panther 1 came out and how many young black kids were going to the movies to see that movie. So when you said, don't recast T'Challa, it's disrespectful, you actually disrespected those black kids because those black kids wanted to have T'Challa to look up to, and you took that away from them. So I don't know. You know, and I don't know, Stevie, what were you gonna say?
If you want a woman character to use, you use Storm, not Shuri. You know what I'm saying? Like Storm is the character. You know what I mean? Storm is the one that you want to use to reach the, like, if you want a strong female character, and just telling you this, Jerry, they're sitting on $1 billion story right there. Storm and T'Challa wedding. You can with Angela Bassett in the come on, dog. That's $1 billion. I mean, you and I are just the I can see the dollar signs coming out of your eyes right now. Just thinking about how profitable that would be. I mean, bro, let me tell you, bro, like what they're doing, like what they have with Black Panther is something that is insane. And I just think that, it was a really missed things. But all in all, I am very happy that Marvel is looking to do this. And another, and apparently they ended up reaching out to a star for the role. He declined. The guy that Jerry and I are going for, we want Aldous Hodge. We love Aldous Hodge. He was Hawkman and Black Adam. Amazing
he was
actor.
dope in that movie, bro.
Yep. He also apparently has a show on Amazon Prime. I haven't watched it yet, but my mom said it's really good. But he's like a cop, or like he's like a detective or something. I'm thinking about checking out, because my dad was saying it gives like a little bit of a Jack Reacher vibe. So I might give it a check out.
You need to watch Squid Games, bro.
Is that good?
Bro, Squid Games is like one of the greatest of all time. It is so good.
100%.
Like, so good.
100%. All right, let's see what some of these chats saying in here. So that story thread about his son was worthless, huh? That is the question. And this is where I say we're in the multiversal saga. You use it. And like a lot of people want to, like, there were a lot of rumors about, this about T'Challa Jr. I would say you use the multiverse to make it happen, and if that means that T'Challa Jr. has to die in some type of incursion or something, you make it happen. I hate when people try and force Black Panther. It's a movie for Black Americans. This is for Africans. The only Black American, that is for Africans. The only Black American was the villain. Vivo, bro. Like, this is where I feel like us as fans, we read too much into this thing. He's a Black character, and I think all people should like Black Panther the same way all people should like every character. That's good. I don't really, I don't really think it's racing. Also, forgot to say this: the actor that plays Namor is one of the best comic book movie castings of all time. That guy who plays Namor was phenomenal. Oh my god!
His name is I might be butchered. We do that, but
he's
I
phenomenal.
Think it's Tenick Huerta.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, what a perfect casting.
Yeah.
And hopefully he gets to see Sue Storm. That story I want to see. T'Challa,
they gotta push that if they're gonna do it. Like,
they gotta go all the way.
Yeah, and the Fantastic Four need character development in the MCU before that can happen.
Sue Storm is low key like for the streets, bro. Because I was reading a comic, bro. Her and T'Challa had a little flirtatious thing going on too for a little bit. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I think I saw people talking about that.
Bro.
I forget what comic it's from, but I know I'm pretty sure I've read it.
Yeah, bro. T'Challa is literally my top 5 favorite Marvel heroes of all time: Spidey, Hulk, Cap, Thor, and T'Challa. That's a strong list. The only character that you guys can crucify me all you want. I don't understand how people love the Hulk so much. I feel like the Hulk is such a based character. Like,
I liked him when I was a kid, and then I grew up.
Yeah, bro. Like guys, what about the Hulk makes you love him so much? I would love to know that. Thor in the top 5,
especially in the MCU, because Mark Ruffalo is the worst actor in the MCU.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Thor
in top 5, bro. Thor's fire, bro. I think you're sleeping on Thor.
Yeah, I love Thor.
If the rumor was true, why no other major account outlet report the story? Jeff Snyder's scoop has been a hit or miss in the past, bro. Jeff Snyder is the one that said that RDJ was Dr. Doom, and no one reposted it. And then at Comic-Con, he took off his mask. So, and not to mention, he's predicted almost everything, bro. So, I would just, go with that. And you also gotta, and by the way, Big Trades did actually write about this. So, like, if you are to go on like Screen Rant and a bunch of sites like that, they do cite him. And those are outlets I trust, because they're the ones that are interviewing these studios. They're having direct contact. And a lot of Hollywood trades have been really connecting with what these guys are doing. So, but if you don't want to think it's true, it's totally fine. It's whatever, bro. So it's all up to you. Wakanda Forever is a great film, or is a good film. Yeah, Wakanda Forever is not bad. As I said, I just don't think it's good, man. Like, when you look at the potential, Ivan and Kevin, take this as a thought, right? I just think that Shuri didn't earn it. When you read the comics, right? Bass denies Shuri. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, if you don't have T'Challa, right, in your Black Panther film, in my opinion, you dive into the spiritual world. And I thought that that's what Marvel was trying to do with, Moon Knight and Thor Love and Thunder. They were showing us all these, gods and stuff. So if you don't do T'Challa, you dive into the lore of the Black Panther, of the culture, of the gods that are like above it, but they didn't do that when you had the perfect chance to do it with Namor and Bass, but it's whatever. I respect that. If the recast is an adult to child from another universe, I'm going to lose it. Yeah. You can't do T'Challa Jr. because then it just destroys like what is the point of doing T'Challa Jr. but then you give him all of the same things that T'Challa was Senior would have.
That's like more disrespectful.
100%. Just retcon it. Or and this might sound rude, just kill them off. And then give it and so they have no king, and then you give us a multiversal. Like, bro, wouldn't it be crazy if RDJ's Dr. Doom kills T'Challa, and then we get Denzel to T'Chaka, and then the new T'Challa? That would be dark, but I think that would be awesome.
By the way, you know what's so funny to me about T'Challa is that if they really believed in Shuri being the Black Panther, they never would have done that scene at the end of the movie. And that just goes to show you they never really believed in her being Black Panther anyway. Because if they did, they wouldn't have set up to make someone else a Black Panther within the same damn movie.
Yep. It was basically like, yeah, like Michael Jackson's sick, so Tito, go on the stage and sing for a few minutes.
Yeah. Ronnie James.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Even if Marvel Studios recast T'Challa, Black Panther 3 is going to reach the heights of the first film at the box office, no matter what the fans want. Let's see. What was the box office of Black Panther 1?
Oh, it was big. I think he might have a point there.
Yeah, he's not wrong. 1.3 billion worldwide. I thought it did too. Well, that's a lot of money. Oh my gosh. All right. It's on the 12 highest gross movie. Bro, I don't think any, I'll be honest, I don't think any solo Marvel film is ever going to reach that. Other than maybe X-Men. Or Fantastic. Well, yeah, but that's not solo. Those are group films. Yeah, I don't really think any other solo movie other than like the Spider-Mans and the big Marvel properties, like the Black Panther hype was different, bro. It was a force, bro. Yeah. And it hit the world out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It hit the world out of nowhere. We saw that trailer and we were like, okay, thanks. Yeah. Gosh, and then, bro, and bro, what I loved about that Black Panther suit, like, is fire that when he can like summon the suit to like it's his thoughts that make the suit like become. It's so
yeah. That was sick.
Yeah. Did you like the Civil War costume more than the new one? Like, what was your?
I like the new one because I like the tech. Like, I love the scene with him and Shuri playing around with it, the vibranium. That kind of stuff gives me a deeper. Bro, I'm an innovation guy. Like, for me with Marvel, I know the suits are going to be mostly good looking. Like, I'm not, overly picky about it. Sometimes I really love certain suits for different reasons. Like, I love the white Black Widow suit because they took that from Metal Gear Solid.
Really?
Yeah, bro. And it's actually in the remake. That scene is going to be in it in the one that's coming out. But yeah, like, I saw something on social media that was interesting today. Actually, it was Iron Man, and it was, remember the scene when he like blows up the tank and then he looks away.
Iron Man 1, yeah,
bro. When he like moved, you could hear the mechanics in his joints. They stopped doing that.
You're right.
They got comfortable.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, slept on.
That was sick.
But and that's why seeing the purple vibranium in Sam's wings, that's what gets like. It's like it feels like they're bringing back that type of detail. Oh, all of them are. But Kevin, you probably have a point, bro. You probably do have a point with that. Namor was dope. Facts. Mark Ruffalo is the worst. Thank God we're not the only people on Earth that think that. I love the Hulk because of storylines like World War Hulk, Planet Hulk. I love Hulk from Avengers Earth's. Yeah, Earth's Mightiest Heroes Hulk. It is fun. I'm not gonna lie. And there's the Norton 2009 film, etc., which I love. Okay, great reasons.
The Norton one's not bad. It's actually not bad. So Hulk could be cool for the right story, but he requires supporting cast, and I also like they could never make a Hulk trilogy with just the Hulk. He needs supporting characters. It's funny because people complain that Thor was boring. You think Thor is? First of all, Thor's not boring. Like, the Hulk is boring.
Yeah, Thor is such a dope character, bro. Like, what? Thor's fun. I love Thor.
Also, the hype, like, when the hammer showed up in whichever post-credit scene, I think it was Captain America, people went crazy. Like, I remember being in the movie and not really knowing what it was, and like comic heads were like, "Oh my god, that's Thor!" And I was like so excited for no reason. I had no idea why. But like I so everyone else was like into it, so I was into it, you know. See, I'm okay with admitting that I did that. Like, or I was able to admit I didn't read comics when I didn't. I don't know.
Okay, so next topic. Obi-Wan Kenobi is rumored to be in the Ahsoka show season 2. So Jerry, I know you're a big Obi-Wan guy because I know you like the Obi-Wan show.
I hate how he says hello there.
Hello there. Yeah, yes. See, I like it in the movies, but like I used to play this game. Was it Star Wars? Not Frontier. I gotta find it now. Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. I used to play Battlefront 2 with one of my friends, and he would just spam that freaking voice so much, dude. Oh, like every time, hello there, but he would do it over and over and over. Oh god, it would drive me crazy.
That's hysterical.
But, yeah, dude. But anyways, as an Obi-Wan show fan, does this make you like want to see Ahsoka? Knowing that,
I already liked season 1. Like, I love the World of Worlds thing. That was so cool. And it makes me think that there's so much more lore to Star Wars that they don't touch on, and they're like so desperate to connect characters to the original trilogy. Like Rey had to be related to Palpatine, and Kylo Ren had to be related to Han Solo, and everything obviously always goes back to the Skywalkers. Like, give it a rest. Like, Marvel's not making everyone Spider-Man's kid. Like, what the hell? It's so lame. It's just like, it's so bad. I don't know. I'm excited for Ahsoka season 2. It's probably the only upcoming Star Wars project I'm excited about. Star Wars really needs to earn my respect back. Like, I liked Star Wars a lot when I was growing up because I grew up with the prequel trilogy and I loved it. And then the sequels came out, and pretty much everything other than the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian and Ahsoka has been trash.
Yeah.
Other than like Andor was good. I know people are like freaking out about it, but people wouldn't be saying Andor was as good as it is if it wasn't a Star Wars related show. So I do think the Star Wars brand helps in some aspects at some times. I don't think it's so black and white. It's not like a Newton's law of physics where it's like, oh, it meets this criteria, it's good or bad or whatever. But it is just such a mismanaged brand. And, in corporate, when someone has the kind of poor performance that Kathleen Kennedy has, rumors start going around, oh, she's got major dirt on the boss. So, like, I think Kathleen Kennedy has like some kind of crazy dirt on Disney or Bob Iger because it's just nobody. I mean, I even heard Ben Shapiro talking about this recently. Nobody thinks Kathleen Kennedy has done a good job. I think, actually, you know what? There are probably people on Blue Sky who will tell you they think Kathleen Kennedy did a good job.
Yeah.
But that's just because they love the agenda. So they're going to pretend anything. There's a lot of people who are like, when they see the agenda that they like, they pretend the content is good. But that's
dude. Even if I loved even if I did, I would still say it's bad. Even if I love the agenda, like it's like agenda or not, you gotta admit this joint's trash.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
It's like some of y'all we gotta be real, bro. Yeah, so with Obi-Wan, I get very excited about this, bro, because this obviously means that Obi-Wan is going to be a Force ghost, and I am excited to see Anakin and Obi-Wan interact with each other as Force ghosts. This has the opportunity to bring, Yoda and, characters like that in here. And with them diving into, the father, daughter, and the son about Anakin may possibly being the father, Ahsoka maybe being the daughter. And this can even open the door to seeing like, I forget his name now I got to search it. Hold on. He was just in my head. Oh, pause. Main character. What's his name? Yeah. Oh, yes, and could bring Star Killer into Star Wars. You know what I mean? It's so many like there's so many characters in this show, or there's so many characters that could possibly pop up in this show. It just gets me so excited. So I like a Force Ghost Obi-Wan talking to Ahsoka. I think is going to be super fun. And if we get to see just more of like Anakin and Obi-Wan in the world between worlds interacting with her, I mean, give us all the lore possible. I think that's what Star Wars needs, bro. You know what I mean? But the thing about Star Wars is that we can watch a show like Ahsoka, which that show had fans locked in for like I think like what 9 episodes, 9 weeks,
Something like that.
But like Star Wars will give us a show as amazing like that, and then we'll get Acolyte the next week. So it's like, you know, I pray, as I said, I pray for consistency, but having Obi-Wan is a very smart thing to do. Very smart thing to do to bring back fans. I mean, it's smart. Now, while we're at Star Wars news, we might as well cover this too. Rory McCann is recast as Balin Skull in the Ahsoka show. Now, if you don't know who Rory McCann is, he got very famous from being in Game of Thrones. In Game of Thrones, he was a swordsman, just a freaking savage. One of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones, and this makes sense that he's Balin Skull because his sword fighting is immaculate, his sword choreography, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they brought him in because he's actually his fight choreography is probably better than what we even saw with Rey as Balin Skull. So we are in for a treat with him. And the one thing that I do like about him, where I think we might see a difference in character, is that Balin Skull was more of a father to Shin Hati versus where Rory McCann, he plays more of like like Jerry. You know, like when you watch a show or movie, right? You have those guys where they see a like a younger kid, like, and they're like in peril, right? You know how they're not a father figure, but they're like a watcher. So like they will protect them with their life, but at the same time they will smack them in the face. That's the type of character that he plays well. So I wonder if they're going to shift his character and make him a little more darker, a little more harsh, because that's the kind of characters that Rory usually plays.
Right. Yeah. I feel like we didn't see, like we didn't see too much where they couldn't pivot the character if they wanted to.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And Balin Skull was a character that popped out in the show. I mean, I know you were hyped. I mean, I know I know you liked him a lot. I did too. There were just so much there, and there's still a lot of questions with Balin Skull about like when was he alive? What does he come from? Does he come from another time? Like, it's just you don't know.
Yeah,
you have no idea what's going on.
So, you know, I always say this: like they should do villain centric. If there's any brand that could pull off villain centric projects, it's Star Wars.
100%, 100%. You could feed into the freaking dark side and just go crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you really could. And that's why Mangold's film has me very interested too, because he's going back to the old times. You know what I mean? And then there's a rumor Knights of the Republic film coming out where that's literally just Jedi versus Sith Lords, bro. Like just an all-out war, no politics involved at all. You know what I'm saying? So
they'll put politics in it.
Well, I was talking about like Star Wars politics because at that time, like the timeline that we came into in Star Wars, the Jedi were the men of the Republic, trying to be peacekeepers. Versus where these Jedi, they're a whole lot different. they're a little more savage, and that's what I want to see. I want to see where like the political lines for the Jedi are gone, and it's just time to freaking fight.
That would be dope.
Yeah, bro.
But that was one of the things that was so cool about the prequel trilogy. Like, first of all, it really was villain centric, except the villain started out as a hero apprentice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about Anakin. It was also about Palpatine. It was also about Obi-Wan. Like, that was sick, and the way Palpatine like manipulated everything over a trilogy to, that was legendary. Like, but then they go and they like ruin Palpatine in episode
One of the greatest
9.
stories, probably the greatest okey doke of all time, or the greatest sneak attack we've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, seriously.
Because like if you don't know, like you wouldn't even see it coming. You wouldn't.
No, you really would. Like if you were watching the prequel and you haven't seen any Star Wars, you wouldn't have known.
Like you wouldn't have thought any, like even though Anakin was teetering in the lane of the dark side, like
I think towards episode in the beginning, like in the first act or second act of episode 3, you would be like, okay, but episode 1 and 2, you would be like, oh, this like humble politician,
because in Attack of the Clones, Anakin does crash out. Like remember when he finds that when he finds that the Raiders
killed his mom,
kidnapped his mom and killed her, and he crashed out. You're still like, okay, that's a valid reason to crash out. This is
right.
Like like he could still make it.
But for a Jedi, you're supposed to be above that. That's the thing.
Yes.
So like, yes, we could relate to that, but Jedi, they're like, no, you got to be above that.
And that's what makes Anakin one of the best characters. But Star Wars theory, right? So he did this video on. There are 2 characters that could have saved them: Mace or Qui-Gon Jinn. Because Star Wars theory said that if Qui-Gon Jinn was his master, they would have probably ended up leaving the Order, and Qui-Gon would have taught Anakin the full Force as a whole, not just one side. And with Mace, so Mace has a fight style called Vapad, right? And basically, the reason why Mace cooked Palpatine so easily is because the way that he fights is he is projecting the dark side that they basically put that they basically give back on them. So he's kind of using the strength of the dark side as an advantage in fighting. And basically, Star Wars theory's point was if Anakin learned that, he would have been able to control his dark side. Like he wouldn't have even went to that point because that fighting style would have gave him more self-control. But Obi-Wan kind of just was like, I see that you're marrying this girl and that you're having sex and that you got her pregnant, but I'm just not going to say anything. And it's like, bro, like, so Obi-Wan low-key like is the reason for the fall of the Jedi.
Right. That's hysterical.
I mean, but that's what makes the story, bro. So, like, imagine a story that deep. You know what I mean? And like, it's funny, bro, because what we're seeing with Dune right now, it's kind of giving me a similar feeling to Star Wars.
I think Dune is so much cooler.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, whoa. No, it's not as cool as Star Wars. I can't say that, but I think that with the whole Paul Atreides thing, like, because I read the next book, people don't know what's coming. It's about to get crazy.
Yeah.
It's about to get wild. But yeah, and fun fact about Dune. So, the guy who wrote the Lord of the Rings books, J.R.R. So the guy that wrote Dune, he sent Tolkien his books, and Tolkien said that they were trash.
Damn. People love Tolkien.
Tolkien's probably they say he's the father of fantasy stories because he's the one that made the first big one, right? But it's funny because Chronicles of
not really like fantasy.
What?
Dude's not really fantasy.
No. Yeah, it's more like Space Odyssey type stuff. But yeah, he sent Tolkien Dune and he said it's trash. And then the other thing is C.S. Lewis sent Chronicles of Narnia to him as well, and he said it was trash. Both of those franchises are like goated. But
that's hysterical.
It's just funny how people see, but Tolkien said that Dune was like too obvious of a story. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It doesn't seem obvious to me, but he's like a doctor in writing, so it's different.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, it's just funny. I wonder what he would have said if he saw Stan Lee's comics.
Right. Well, people did say you're crazy for making Spider-Man a superhero. That's stupid. And like,
you serious?
Yeah, bro.
They doubted Spider-Man?
People were like, who would want the powers of a spider? They were like Superman, Batman, like Spider-Man, and look at Spider-Man now. People
don't like the fact that Marvel Studios is changing. Yeah, changing to be better, it seems like, and we can only hope and pray that it stays that way. Kathleen Kennedy isn't going anywhere as president of Lucasfilm. I hope that changes, bro. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. Disney Star Wars show, TV shows, hit or miss. Facts, bro. It's either amazing or it sucks. Just like
the thing about it that's interesting is the closer like the story is to the Skywalkers or like the main Star Wars episodes, the worse it is. And then the further away, like Mandalorian, Andor, those are the good shows, or Ahsoka. But like, I actually liked Obi-Wan, but most people hated it. Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, those are the ones that people have problems with.
Yeah. Do you know something that was also weird? Bob Iger was quick to comment on the MCU when the Marvels flopped, but he has barely talked about Star Wars.
I'm telling you, bro, Kathleen Kennedy's got dirt.
It got to be something like did you remember what happened at FS1?
Nah.
With like skipping all them?
What's FS1?
I'll tell you off here. I'll tell you off here. It's just pretty. It's pretty wild. But all right. After I saw the Force Awakens, I vowed to never watch another Star Wars movie. The Force Awakens wasn't that bad.
Yeah, the Force Awakens.
That was a good one. That was a good one. And The Last Jedi, I always say, underrated story. Bad movie, but the concept was. If the concept was done right, would have been fire.
What's also crazy to me is that there are fans, probably the Blue Sky fans, I'm just going to call them that from now on, that defend Disney not using George Lucas's storyboards for
bro.
Like, how could you defend that?
He gave you the keys, bro, but it's all ego, bro. I mean, and we all know, bro. It's all ego, and you and I have talked about this before about how a lot of directors are very cocky, like. And I understand. It makes sense, to do that job. You got to be cocky, but when it comes to like adapting content and stuff like that, you gotta be humble. That's why I think the Russos have been so successful, because they don't really bend to do their own thing that much when it comes to honoring like the characters in the movie.
I would disagree with that.
Why?
Well, they didn't even have Adam Warlock. They didn't have Lady Death. Like,
okay, so I'm not talking about copying a story, but I'm talking about changing the essence of a character. Like they destroyed Han Solo, they destroyed Leia, they destroyed Luke. Right. Like they took the essence, because something that I've kind of learned, and I think you said this too.
You should read Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, by the way. They're great.
Okay. I will definitely add it to the list. And I might be stealing this from you, but you or someone said that one of
you stole something else from me, by the way, and used it in an argument against me.
What?
How Spider-Man's got to drive the main story forward. That was my thing that I brought here, and it is. You know it is.
It's called what's the word? I can't come up with a word. Never mind. This I apologize. And I will use it again. But you might have said this, but like the essence, you can change the story as long as the essence of the character isn't destroyed. Like
that's fair. I agree. And by the way, I don't criticize the Russos for not using Adam Warlock or Lady Death. I think it would have been stupid to introduce Adam Warlock solely for that movie. And I love Adam Warlock. He's a dope character. I want to see more of him. I also like that, and this is what I think a lot of people in this space, especially on Twitter, don't understand. These movies are not really adaptations. They're definitely not one-to-one adaptations. And comic accuracy isn't like a black or white thing. The characters and who they are at their core is imperative. But the stories, first of all, guys like us that read a ton of comics, like I would like to see a different movie than the comic that I've already read. Yeah. And you could take things and make it different. Infinity War is possibly the greatest comic book movie of all time. And if you read the comic, it is different, but the structure of the story and what happens is pretty much the same. So
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you, and this might be a bad comparison, but who cares? It's a podcast. Did you enjoy the Infinity War movie or the comic more? Like which one do you think is better?
Oh, that's a really tough question. The interesting thing about it is I think like I love both for different reasons. I really love Infinity War as a movie because it really does take you on an adventure, and it's crazy to see the Avengers lose like that. And all the characters, they were just written perfectly. Like it is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
And then the comic, what I really love about it is I struggle reading older comics because they're outdated, the way they're written. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think, it's really Infinity Gauntlet is like the main one of the three. But when I read those, like I was actually able to enjoy it. They still hold up really well. And it was like the first time I read an old comic that like I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough to say which I like more. If I had to give up one for the rest of my life, it would probably be the comic, like no question. I rewatch Infinity War all the time. I don't really reread the comic. But the comic is incredible. It was written by Jim Starlin, who created Thanos. He created Adam Warlock. He is a legend. He was in the scene, by the way, in the focus group in Endgame. Remember when they had the focus group and not the focus group, but the health self-help or whatever? And
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. He was the bald guy.
He was older.
Earring. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was cool. It was
that's
cool
dope. That's actually dope that they went and gave him a nod. Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
By the way, you know what else he wrote? Batman: Death in the Family.
Really?
Yeah. You know which story that is?
That's when what's his name dies.
Yes.
What's his name dies?
Todd Robinson.
Yeah, Todd. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a great story too. And it's an older story, but I still enjoyed it. He's a super talented writer. But yeah, so like really cool that the Russo in that way.
So I asked you that because someone asked me about do I like the Civil War movie or the Civil War comic book, and
that's different.
And I literally couldn't answer the question.
I think that's different because it's tough because it's a movie is obviously like awesome, but the Civil War event, like I read the full like 100 comics, and it was
you read the full 100?
Yeah, like the full event. I read everything, but maybe not everything because now like I read. Sometimes I'm reading a run and I run into the time that so like I pick up on other things and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
And that's kind of what I'm seeing when I'm in this Avengers. I'm like, oh, like so this comic connects to that. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, it's fine.
You know what's interesting, and I keep meaning to start it, but I haven't read it yet. Actually, I've read some of it, but it's called Annihilation, and it's a lot of people say it's like the best Marvel comic event ever. And I don't really know much about the end of the story, but basically, it's like the comic that made Marvel cosmic important in the modern era, and it took place at the same time.
The covers are fire, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That freaking Silver Surfer, bro. That Silver Surfer cover is sweet, bro.
It took place at the same time as Civil War. So like when both of these were coming out, comic heads were like losing their fucking minds.
Yo, and see, I would love if Marvel could do this in live action.
Exactly. That's what I always try to say. Like, and I hope DC runs with it because I always say DC is going to do some innovative stuff that we've never seen before. Like, imagine if we had Avengers Infinity War going on while we also had like, Rise of the Phoenix or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you could do major storylines at the same time Like, that would be crazy.
And do you know who's doing? That's why they do. Okay. So in Invincible, right? What they've been doing is so like, and it literally just clicked in my mind just now. So I read all the comics, and something that I've been seeing, bro, is that they're taking like intro stories from like a bunch of like 50 issues before, and they're giving you intro scenes randomly in the show. That's what they're doing.
They want to fill you in on stuff so you understand
Yeah,
why.
but like so like in a so like a prime example would be like if you're reading Invincible like issue 1, right? In issue 20, you'll get an intro to a character that happened at the same time of like the issue 1. But what they're doing is like in the show, they're showing you both scenes in real time instead of you having to go to like season freaking 4.
Right.
And it's the same timeline.
Well, that's a cool way to do it.
But not just oh my gosh. Imagine having that. And maybe and bro, maybe that might be their thing that they're trying to do with the whole Annihilus thing, you know?
So,
like maybe they're trying to do the whole Nova thing with that while we're having a story going on down on Earth. I don't know.
That's a great point. That maybe, hopefully, you know, he is like the main character in Annihilation. It's Drax the Destroyer.
Yep, I see Drax, I see the Nova, Ronin, Super Skrull.
Yes.
Silver Surfer.
Thanos is in it.
Yep. There's a Herald of Galactus. Oh wow. I gotta read this, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I might crack this open tonight.
Dude, it's kind of fire. And Robert Kirkman, by the way, you know, he's like super famous from Invincible. So he's definitely, I haven't really read the comics or finished the show, but I do know he's like widely regarded as like a major player in the game.
Yeah, he's dope. All right, let's get through some chats here. By the way, man, I love talking about comics now, dude. Like now that I'm reading, bro, it's like I'm
bro. Something like switched off, you know what I'm saying? You're reading a ton lately.
Yeah, dude, bro. I don't know, dude. It's like an itch, bro.
Yeah,
and I think it's because I didn't like Absolute Superman, so I kind of been going back to like Marvel comics.
Bro, how much does it suck when you read a comic and you don't like it?
Yeah, well, dude, I love the first issue of Absolute Superman, and then it just got worse and worse. I'm not, and then this whole mom story, not feeling at all.
Yeah, bro, it felt very agenda driven.
Exactly, and now it's hurting my whole view of the Absolute like universe now. So I needed to take a break, and then I'm gonna come back and go back to Absolute Batman. All right, ended up watching Obi-Wan though, and that was garbage. See, some people hate it, some people do like it. I'm like in the center aisle. When do you think the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer will come out? Definitely at Comic-Con. I don't get why they don't just explore a section of the universe without any connections to the Republic or Sith. Show a new galactic community, but when you are trying to make a whole new connection, you're going away from Star Wars. You know what I mean? And they're like, what makes the lore rich is Jedi and Sith, but where I think they're missing out, Eye of Evil, is Dave Filoni created that, and Ahsoka built off of that. You gotta just keep building off of that story. And that's why I think you can introduce new characters into the story.
Yeah.
But bro, Force Awakens was not bad, but S was not Star Wars. That was when movies were fully turning in slot facts. I hope they use Adam Warlock. I really like Will Poulter. Facts, bro. Jalen Harris. I guess that's your new thing now. I'm going to bus, whatever. It's whatever. I'll let you rock out because you watch the podcast. Shout out to you and your views. Infinity War movie over the comic. Facts, bro. The movie's way fire. Derpy Entertainment. Good evening.
You haven't even read the comic, bro.
Huh?
You haven't read the comic.
Yeah, but so that's why I said the movie over the comic. I haven't read the comic yet.
No, that's bullshit.
Okay, next topic here. Cynthia and Revo. Okay, so Cynthia.
Get out of here, Cynthia.
Cynthia and Revo.
Sit down, Cynthia.
Yeah. Cynthia and Revo wants to play Storm in the MCU, and she got cooked online for this, bro. Like destroyed on X. Jerry, how do you feel about Cynthia and Revo saying this?
First of all, I haven't watched Wicked. I don't watch musicals. I hate musicals. But I saw Cynthia and Ariana Grande in their like press tours.
Yeah.
And when I saw them like holding each other hands and looking at each other and making noises like, I was like, get out of here. I don't ever want to see either of them ever again. And that definitely means I don't want her as Storm in the MCU. I don't think that someone that looks at someone and goes, is meant to play Storm. I'm sorry. No. You know what?
Yes.
I'm not sorry. No.
Yeah, don't be sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a whole spiel about this actually. So with Cynthia, I have to give flowers because I do think that her role in Wicked was amazing, and I think she killed it. And she has her niche, which is musicals and singing. She's an amazing vocalist. That's what she does. But this is where I don't have a problem with her saying that she plays Storm, Jerry. This is where my problem is the way she said it. She said this: we haven't uncovered how grand she is, which I don't have a problem with because you and I can both agree we haven't uncovered how grand she is.
Right.
But this is the part where I have an issue, Jerry. And all of that inner turmoil that she has. What inner turmoil are you talking about? And this is where the problem comes in. And so when she's talking about when she's talking about inner turmoil, she's talking about racism. And this is where we have to address the issue. So my it's actually, Jerry, it's funny. So I was in a meeting with my pastor, and we were talking about like starting this new group or whatever, but it failed, right? It failed because it just didn't work. And my pastor said something that was very profound, Jerry, that stuck in my head. So basically, like we tried to do a live viewing of Jesus's birth, right? Like we tried to get camels and all types of animals. The animals didn't show up, and it was windy, so the fires couldn't go, and no one showed up. Like barely anyone showed up. But my pastor said something very profound. He said the reason why it didn't work is because we didn't have someone that actually cared about it. And because no one actually cared about it, it wasn't done the best way that it could.
Everyone put in a half-baked effort.
Yes. When it comes to Cynthia, do I think that if she got cast in Storm, would she put in the work? Yes. Would she try her best? I think she would. But when it comes to comic book characters, we don't need people that only look the part. You need people that care about the role. Why does RDJ work? Why does Chris Evans work? Why is Hornswoggle being widely loved? Why is Pattinson loved? Why was Christian Bale loved? Jerry, you know why? Why is Henry Cavill? Why is Henry Cavill regarded? Why, Jerry?
Because they have passion for the source material.
They love the source and the basis of the character. And when she says something like that, it shows you that she doesn't understand Storm. Storm is not a product of racism. She's not. She is an elegant queen. She's the mother and sister of the freaking X-Men.
I have a question though, and you would know better than me, but like when I heard inner turmoil, I didn't think racism.
The way she said it though, but if you heard her,
right,
like if you watched it,
I believe you.
It's the cadence and the way that it was said. It was like, I see your angle there. You know what I mean? And even when you're looking at Chadwick Boseman's character, he understood T'Challa on a level that a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just my whole thing with her. And so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm not here to, and look, she isn't a bad actress. I think Wicked was good, but musicals is kind of her thing. I think she needs to stay there. And that's no disrespect to her.
When I posted hell no to her on my story, you know who DM'd me to argue that he thinks she would do a good job? Matt
Oler?
Yeah.
That shocks me. That's a shocking one.
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
That shocks me. Yeah. So yeah, I just don't see that at all. See, like she will be a better Shuri than a freaking her. Like I can see her being like a character, like a side character in like Wakanda or something, but I could not see her being a Storm. And like when you guys watch X-Men 97, like it's like no. So yeah, all right. Now let's see.
By the way, when they introduce Storm, you have to understand like this. Storm has the potential to be as big as any other character in the MCU. Storm is like that girl. I mean, X-Men, if you want to make female characters big, X-Men is the place to do it. Okay. Because you got Storm, you have Jean Grey, you have Rogue, you got a lot of characters here. But Storm specifically, like the hype around her is going to be crazy. That casting needs to be RDJ level. And someone who goes, is just not cut out.
Okay. Exactly. And also like something that we always talk about. There's a lot of other girls that need their own shot. You know what I mean? Like there's other actors that have been grinding that deserve a shot to be in a franchise as big as the MCU. And I think there's other female actors that could do a good job. Like, prime example, like Sabra. I'm happy that they found an actress that's someone that we really haven't seen everywhere. It's someone that's kind of low key, but this is her shot. You know what I mean? To kind of do something big. Same thing when it comes to Storm and some of those characters. Now, I do think Rogue is going to be like a list actress and all that, and so some of those other characters. But with Storm, give someone else a shot. It doesn't have to be the same actor for every role.
I have a question. Do we have another X-Men topic for tonight?
No, sir.
Okay. It feels like they are already laying down the groundwork to make Wolverine the center of the X-Men again.
Why do you feel that?
Because they're already making adamantium so important. Isn't adamantium in this movie and in Thunderbolts?
I know it's in Brave New World with the whole Tiamat Island thing.
Right.
Not sure about Thunderbolts, though.
I think they're doing that to make Wolverine the big thing. And I think they were probably even more so inspired to do it after the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. And, I think obviously a lot of people want to see, myself included, Stevie too, we want to see Cyclops get his shine. I'm also not opposed to Wolverine being the center of it, though. I love Wolverine. Yeah. I know, I think that a lot of fans are going to might be surprised once it like that becomes official. But you have to remember, we all kind of asked for it. Like people freaked out about Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, that was crazy. Everyone was going nuts over him and the suits and, the montage of the different Wolverines. So I think we kind of asked for it. But I don't think they would be going so hard on adamantium if Wolverine wasn't involved in some way.
Yeah. Also, they're playing it safe.
Exactly.
And like when you look at a character like exactly, and I think that they're going to give her or the X-Men, and I kind of made this up, kind of like the Wanda Maximoff way, which is Wanda wasn't on her own until she was very established. It took a while for her to get established as a character, and then the torch kind of got passed for her to have her own show where she became like a big character, et cetera, et cetera. And then Multiverse of Madness ruined her, but she's still a big character. She's still loved, and I think that that's what that might be what they're doing with Wolverine. Like Hugh is going to start it off. He's going to come off super strong, and then they're going to use him to build up Cyclops and to build up these other characters. They're going to use Wolverine to make us fall in love with these characters. And then he'll he'll take a step back to let other characters kind of like jump on. So who knows how they can be doing that. All right, let's see some chats. Wicked is actually a pretty good movie. It is very good movie. Very good movie. She's a cornball. Facts. She's a cornball.
Yes.
She definitely has a great voice for music, but I don't know if she has the acting ability to play. Yes. And that's the thing too. Mute with, because I went to an art school, so I understand, right? Like when you sing in musicals, it's kind of easier because the singing is doing the emotion for you, if that makes sense. Versus where if you're using dialogue, you have to change the cadence of your voice. You have to make yourself cry. I mean, it's very hard. And I'm not gonna say that like music, like doing the musical has to be hard because you got to sing and learn lines. Like it's hard, but when you're singing, as I said, it's easier to change tones. But talking and having to convince an audience with your voice and your wit, it's way harder. Hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button, man. Good looks. X-Men kind of deals with racism in a way since they're inspired by the civil rights movement. But yeah, I don't think she'll fit together. And yes, the X-Men does, and the X-Men also deals with the Holocaust as well. I mean, the X-Men they are a bunch of freaking just different people, and and I think it speaks to that in a universal way. But remember this, bro. They don't like them because they're mutants, not because they're black or white. And you got to understand that, what makes Magneto and Professor X so interesting is because they come from the Holocaust time. But what feeds that even more is the fact that they weren't just rejected for their race, they were also rejected for the genealogy and who they are of being a mutant. So y'all got to understand the reason why Magneto was so mad, because bro got a double portion of hate. He got tortured for being a Jew, and then he got tortured for being a mutant. And all that anger, and then when he sees his own people getting tortured and killed, he has to relive the Holocaust over and over and over and over and over, and that's what pisses him off so much. But not a lot of people understand that. Like, people just think that he's just a base evil bad guy. He's not. Yeah. It all feeds. You know what I mean? It all feeds.
And like, the MCU has touched on racism before. They did it with Killmonger. They did it with Sam Wilson in the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm not saying they can't ever do it again, but like, I don't know. I just don't think Storm is that character.
Yes, and because she's, I mean, and also, guys, remember this: the racism didn't really go to T'Challa's way, because he doesn't really know about it because he's from Africa, bro. Like, I mean, like Wakanda, he's around his own people. Yeah. Same thing with Storm. She's around her own people, man. Yeah. Like, she don't know. The only thing she knows is Outcast is being a mutant, but in her homeland, she's revered. Like, I'm telling you, man, y'all don't know about Storm, man. Y'all gonna love Storm. She's awesome. After that Black Girl Magic line in the Marvels, I'll be happy. Facts, bro. That was bad.
I'm happy I missed that line because
that was bad.
I tell you, I couldn't even hold my attention during that movie. It was so bad.
Hey, you walked out, right, or no?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, because I know I saw the post-credit scene.
Oh yeah. Hey, not gonna lie, I kind of laughed hard when Nick said Black Girl Magic. It was just the way he delivered it. Yeah, he said Black Girl Magic. It was so fast, but like, he said it fast. Like, it felt like Samuel L. Jackson said it fast, knowing it was just nutty, bro. Okay. Now, next topic here. I want to pull up this thing. Okay, so the Sony overseer of the Spider-Man spinoffs has left Sony. So his name is Palak Patel. He has left Sony. Excuse me. Got a burp. Excuse me. He was the executive who oversaw the Sony Spider-Man spin-off films. He also served as the studio's point man for the MCU Spider-Man films. Now, I said on my TikTok, like, in a lot of jobs, right? Like, if you're going to get fired, usually your job will either like lay you off, so it doesn't seem like you got fired, or they're like, yo, you got to be let go, so just resign so you can get like another job. You know what I mean? So it might be that. But Jerry, I wanted to talk to you because if this guy was the point man for the MCU Spider-Man movies, how much influence do you think this guy had on Spider-Man and the movies?
Wait, I'm confused. I thought you were talking about the spinoffs, not the MCU.
Oh, he does both.
I mean, he probably had a lot of influence, but here's the thing. They're doing a new trilogy. Like, they could bring someone new in. I think they need to get a good director. I think Feige needs to be more involved. And I think whatever they're planning for the next Spider-Man is like crazy and going to hit everyone as a surprise, because I am 100% confident that Marvel and or Sony are putting out fake information as leaks to different people. And that's why it feels like every week it's like, oh, this is what they're doing with Spider-Man. This is what we're doing with Spider-Man. I guarantee you, if you listed every single thing we've heard from these rumor mills, a bunch of it would contradict each other. And that's what these companies do, okay? A lot of companies, when they're working on stuff, they put out fake information from sneaker companies, video games, movie, all that. Anything where people are anticipating the product and they want to keep it a surprise, that's one of the tactics. So I don't know who this person is. So, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's such a big deal that they lost him. I haven't even heard of the guy.
Yeah, me either.
So I think they'll probably be okay. I just hope that they bring in someone like Sam Raimi just seems like the perfect person.
Yeah.
He just did Doctor Strange 2. He's obviously willing to do Spider-Man. He has made the best Spider-Man movie. Bring him on, and when I say the best Spider-Man movie, I'm talking about Spider-Man 2, although I do believe Across the Spider-Verse is a very close second. That movie is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hope that, like, with an exec leaving, right? Obviously, this guy was overlooking stuff where he was just letting stuff slide. So the next guy they bring in, hopefully, is someone that cares about the content and this, like, actually is hands-on to see the stuff. It's not like let it go out. Because and maybe he was one of the reasons why, but I mean, he's just letting stuff slide, and that's what I hope, bro. Like, I want to see. Oh my gosh, accidentally. Hey, I just invited you to go on live. I apologize, did not mean to do that. Frick. But yeah, so I hope that we get more of that stuff of someone that just cares, and maybe if Sam Raimi does oversee it, bro, that will help because he does understand Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So let's see what they say. All right. Oh God. Oh good. Not Sony. F Sony after CEO.
Damn.
Sony, just do Spider-Man 2099 is right there, bro. They got Miles, dude. They got Miles, brother. They're cooking with that. Cooking with that right now. Okay. So the Russos ended up talking about they spoke about directing Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. They said that they couldn't figure out an idea for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. They called the writer Stephen McFeely about returning, and he said, F no, absolutely not, and hung up. They said the next morning he called back. We ended up stumbling upon an idea that activated all of us. And then they also talked about why Christopher Marcus is not writing on it, and the reason why is because they already have a bunch of projects with their studio that has due dates that he's already like signed on to write for, so he wasn't able to come back. So it wasn't like beef or like he wasn't mad, he's just not able to because he's working for the Russos production company. He's writing a bunch of scripts. So Jerry, how do you feel about, and but before I say that, I felt like that was a shot at how trash the MCU has been.
Interesting.
Because the way that I thought about it, about when they said like they couldn't figure out an idea, is because I was thinking about the Winter Soldier and Civil War, right? Like they were able to use the buildups of the movies around it to make both of those films such big events. And they were probably looking at the last project. They're like, all these movies suck. Like, how are we going? Like, how the heck are we going to save this thing? And maybe that's where they're appalled. Like, maybe that was the question. Like, how do we save this story from dying? Right. That's why they had a hard time figuring out an idea. How did you kind of view it?
I thought it was like a significant story, but I thought it was pretty straightforward. Like, I don't think there was, at least to me, I didn't think it revealed anything. Yeah. I didn't have any hypothetical insights. I just hope that these guys knock it out of the park. What I do think they should do is, like, I've always hoped that one of the unnamed projects were an Illuminati project. I think that would be like the perfect setup to Avengers Doomsday. Because like I referenced before, Tony set up the Illuminati to, save them from the incursions. But I do feel like what they are going to do is more than likely over the next couple of movies, there are probably going to be a few scattered, like 1 to 2 minute scenes, similar to when the Guardians of the Galaxy went to nowhere and met with the Collector, and we first saw the Infinity Stones. Those scenes are like very short. Or when you saw Thanos, those scenes are very short. And I think that they were short because Marvel didn't really know what they were doing in the beginning. And I think once they realized, okay, we want to do the Infinity Saga, what we're going to do is build up to it. And they had already built these movies, and they were like, oh, but we need to put something in there that leads up to the Infinity Saga. So we could do these quick 2-minute scenes, and that will segue everything into each other. And I kind of think that that's what they should do now.
I hope that Multiverse of Madness didn't like scare them off from using the Illuminati, because there was even a plan of like a secret society thing where it wasn't too deep, but like remember in the beginning of Endgame, they had their little society meeting. It was like it was Rhodey, Rocket, and all them. So like they've planted little pieces of that, but having a character like Pedro Pascal coming on, and like you have RDJ's Tony Stark still available even with him as Doom, and just other characters in general, like with the rumors of T'Challa being recast. Hopefully he comes sooner than later. You know, we already have Namor. Like there's a way to make this happen.
Yeah,
and
they could
we
do
need
the
them.
Illuminati. But here's the other thing, guys. A lot of these movies are going to be delayed.
Like what?
Most of them. I mean, you got to keep in mind that LA just burnt down. Like all the people that they need
got pushed back
to work on these movies, their entire lives just got flipped upside down. And it's not just the actors, it's the crew, the production staff, all of it. I think most of these movies are going to be delayed. I think we're looking at like COVID level delays again.
That is true. Yeah, because the Daredevil trailer got pushed back too.
Okay, exactly.
Burns.
Yeah, so I think we would be like super lucky if we still get Avengers Doomsday in 2026.
Yeah, or it might come out maybe like November type ish. Who knows?
Dude, I don't know, bro.
Yo, what if they make Spider-Man go before because of this? Who knows? Because it's less characters and less like work. Because like less work to do than like a Doomsday. Who knows?
I don't know. I think that they don't even know what's going to happen with like the housing market, and if they don't know what's going to happen with the housing market, they don't know how things are going to get rebuilt. It's dude, there's so many moving pieces. Like I really think that we are going to suffer a lot of delays. I really do. And I think they're going to be significant. I don't think Doomsday is going to come in 2026.
Fair take. Okay. Supergirl is now filming in the UK. Which is very fast how they're jumping from moving.
And by the way, sorry, real quick, shout out LA and everyone in California. Thoughts and prayers,
it sucks, dude. Sucks.
Horrible.
Just sucks.
Hope everyone's okay. Stay safe, and sorry that you had to go through this.
Yeah, sucks, bro. Praying for you guys out there. So Supergirl is filming in the UK, and a lot of Millie Alcock, she posts a story just confirming that she's filming, and a lot of people are hyped a lot of people are just want to say, I want to see the costume. Which is fun. So do you think Supergirl has the potential to surprise a lot of fans?
I think that people are going to enjoy the movie. I don't know so much about surprise because it's coming right after Superman. So I think people who like aren't as into Superman or knowledgeable are going to have a greater understanding of Superman, his powers, and all that kind of stuff. But I do think that Supergirl is a pretty cool character. And I think that she might surprise people in that way because not everyone really knows her. But I never really looked at her as like someone who's going to surprise people.
They got to have Superman in this for sure. He's got to be in here.
Yeah.
Somehow.
that I think is important to establishing the shared universe. I mean, that's like one of the first things that the MCU figured out in becoming mega successful was that like fans go crazy when you have surprise appearances from other significant characters in your movies, you know? And I think that, like I always say, DC is going to innovate in ways that we can't even imagine yet. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to take simple things that are easy and work.
Yeah. My guess is also that she'll even probably be in Superman too. Maybe like if it's like an end credit scene, or she might pop up for a bit. Her ship might land in Superman. Who knows? I mean, like there has to be some type of connection there.
Yeah.
Something.
I think we're more likely to see him in her movie than we are to see her in his movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think she might be like mentioned though somehow? Like, hey, somebody's here from your home or some movie ends. Who knows?
Probably because of course they want to hype the movie up. So
yeah, they got to. Because like
it's gonna help sell tickets.
I do think it's a risk making this movie though. It's like, how does Supergirl get a movie, but you don't make the Green Lantern project a movie? Like I think a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow show would do better, in the Green Lantern Hal Jordan and John Stewart movie would have done
what I think?
The movie. What?
I think they wanted to have a female character and they wanted to give her a movie.
True. And he probably did it. He probably didn't want to do Wonder Woman because that came out so soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl wouldn't do good. Black Canary wouldn't do good. Okay.
Yeah.
So go with
Supergirl is like movie material.
Yeah, go with the most powerful character.
Yeah.
Other than Wonder Woman. Okay, so next topic here. Bucky. So they asked Sebastian Stan about him appearing in Captain America Brave New World, and he just, he basically made a funny little comment, like how actors love to dodge stuff, but that was I'm not in that. A lot of fans are speculating that he's going to pop up, not to be like a main. He's not going to be a main guy in the story, but a lot of people think he's going to pop up, and that's going to be like the link to the Thunderbolts. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Do you think it's possible that they could be popping up in this film, or not the whole team, but some characters?
I don't think Bucky's going to pop up. I think that would be a bad move, just because there are too many people who are unfairly being like, "Oh, Bucky should be Cap." Or actually, now that I'm like, also reading that comic run, maybe they could play into that and show why Bucky wasn't Cap. But I think it's more than likely that he's not in the movie. I think that Marvel probably wants Sam Wilson to stand on his own, but who knows? The most interesting thing to me is that they included Ross saying to Sam in the trailer, "I want you to rebuild the Avengers team with me."
Yeah. And who's on Darren said I look like Anthony Mackie? Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Hope I do. He's just worse. Bro, Anthony Mackie does not look better than me, bro. Stop it, bro. He like a mouse in the face, dude. But yeah, bro, I could see Bucky appearing in Brave New World, but I don't think he has a large part. The only thing I think that they're not talking about is, obviously, like, Tiamat Island is important, and we kind of see it when he's flying around in the random ocean. I wonder if how in the Thunderbolts trailer we saw how U.S. agent is working for someone. What's her name is worker? Or let me rephrase this. You know how Ghost and Ghost, Yelena, and U.S. Agent, they all think they're working for different people, but they're all working for the same one.
Didn't that come from
Ballerina girl?
Didn't that come from a rumor?
No, so in the trailer, they all got sent to get Sentry, but they all thought they were working for different people.
Okay.
But they're all working for the same person.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could see something similar to that in Brave New World with this whole Tiamat Island thing. If that's true, I wonder what characters they are going to use. But it could be just maybe it could even be a bunch of characters from different countries. Like, I mean, it
Right,
doesn't have
right.
to be just our like
Yeah.
Thunderbolts, but
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna. I feel like the asterisk is gonna knock Thunderbolts off the screen, and they're gonna be like, "Ha, got you. This movie's called Dark Avengers. Let's go." You know,
that would be insane,
that
bro.
would
And then we get Norman. Oh my god, I would
yeah,
cry. I would
bro.
cry. Darren, shout out to you, brother.
You
He
know,
Darren got the #1 gifted badge. I have no idea what that means, but
in Marvel Rivals.
no, he just got the #1 gifter badge in our on our TikTok chat. I don't know what that means, but I will research after this.
I have no idea what that means either. But yeah, I hope both of these movies are good, because if one of these movies flops, Marvel has already started off this year on a poor foot.
Yeah,
or weak foot.
it's tracking to do 95 to 110 million opening weekend, which is very strong, very strong.
Okay,
So if it can keep that momentum for like 4 weeks, we can be looking at.
yeah.
As long as the word of mouth coming out of day one is good, it'll be fine.
I also really think that with the delays that are definitely going to happen, Batman 2 is going to be delayed again.
Batman 2's cooked.
Yeah, Batman 2's cooked. I mean, this movie was supposed to be filming like this year.
Just chalk it, New Brave and Bold at this point. When does it come out again? So
Get
Captain
out of
America
here.
Brave New World comes out February 13th.
You know, the DCU, I think it's going to hurt the most, because the DCU is trying to start and establish itself. And we have some projects like taking place this year, and they're looking to put the follow-ups out as fast as possible. I think James Gunn even said that. And now they're not going to be able to do that. And that's going to, I think that will impact a lot of things negatively.
Yeah.
I really do. And it sucks, because WB is not in a position to be able to wait a lot of these things out.
Yeah. Not to mention, aside from the DCU, they got those Lord of the Rings films that they're working on as well, which is also a really big property.
Those are movies they're making, not shows. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, they have other really big properties that they're trying to get, profitable.
Well, hopefully they don't do what they did with Rings of Power. And I didn't watch it, but I heard.
No, they're not.
How do you know?
Because the guy that wrote The Hobbit and directed the Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films, he's coming back.
Peter Jackson. No way.
I can show you.
Bro, do you understand?
Because all right, look. So Andy Serkis is directing, but Peter Jackson is he's the producer of it. So it's gonna be crazy. Yeah,
bro, he's a legend.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
also, dude, I don't know how you're the top gifter. Yeah, bro, that's crazy, bro. So yeah. With Peter Jackson back, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah,
very fine. So, and I'm excited to see what Andy Serkis is going to do. For some reason, people love him. And then I also saw that he was working on the Fantastic Four. He helped out a little bit with the Thing. They say he did some stuff. I forget. He did some camera work for the Thing. Andy Serkis.
He did camera work for the Thing for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because Eben Moss, the guy who's acting as the Thing, he said that Andy Serkis came on set and like helped out a bit with.
He is like the king of motion capture. People say, he's done. He was Caesar in Planet of the Apes. He was Gollum, and I think he's got another big role that he did motion capture for. So that would make sense.
Yeah. He really is a legend that isn't talked about enough.
Yeah.
And him as Claw, what is his name? Claw? Was it Claw or Clow? I forget his name. Clow was such a fun character, bro. He was a fun character. Then when his arm turned into a freaking blaster. So fun.
Yeah, that was sick.
Okay. Yeah. Facts, bro. Black Panther was a great movie. Okay. And also talk about planting, right? We saw that man in freaking Avengers Age of Ultron, bro. All the way back then.
Yeah.
Brought him back. And that was in Age of Ultron. That was when Wakanda was first talked about. in that
Yep.
movie because they were going through all those files.
And they were like, "What's Wakanda?"
Like, oh, you guys don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Would give anything for a stylized 50 Spider-Man trilogy. What the heck? I don't want that.
The animation I would love.
Animated, not live action.
Yeah, no. I'm so disappointed by this Spider-Man show that's coming out. Like, I can't. I mean, it sounds like a Babylon Bee story. Like, it really does, man. It's so silly and stupid. Like, whoever did this to Spider-Man is so selfish. It's gross. It really is gross that they're doing that.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of what they're doing, man. And the city looks empty and all that stuff. Hopefully, it's like, and you can't make changes because the movie comes out what, next week? Wait,
Show
or the show when it does come out?
I don't even know I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I'll watch it for this, but otherwise I probably won't.
I'm gonna watch the first few episodes. If it's mid, I'm gonna stop. Release. All right, it comes out January 29th.
Okay.
Oh, you meant 60s? Yeah, still ain't watching that. The only 60s characters I want to see is the Fantastic Four. I'm hyped for the Superhero movie. Hell nah, it needs to be a movie. A Lantern show makes sense because of the cop angle. Also, they have heavyweights working on that Lantern. They do. Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre are going to kill it, man.
Bro, it's crazy because the Earth One Green Lantern, he looks like they got Kyle Chandler to look exactly like him. It's crazy.
Now I want to Google what he looks like. Let me see. Earth.
Bro, it's you with the picture that they took recently with his beard and his like scruffy hair, he looks exactly like Earth One Green Lantern. Hal Jordan.
So he's like a little older here. Okay.
I haven't read this one, but Earth One is basically an alternate universe that they did. Yeah. Earth One Batman is sick. Actually, Comics Explained said that the Earth One Batman is the greatest Batman story ever told.
Let me see. Did you read that or no?
I've read Earth One Batman. Yeah, it's dope.
Do you agree?
I don't agree that it's the best Batman story ever told. It's dope, but it's
who wrote that?
Jeff Johns, who is an incredible writer.
Yeah, he is a big GF Johns guy.
Yeah.
I just don't like the suits. The suits. The costume.
Which one? The Green Lantern or
the Earth One Batman? I don't like how the yellow. I don't like the yellow background with the black symbol. It looks weird.
Bro, who cares? You care too much about the suit sometimes. Like, I feel like you wouldn't read it because you don't like the suit.
Nah, I'll read it.
But you told me you don't like first-person shooters because
I hate FPS. Oh gosh, I do. Oh, I hate
but
FPS.
That's so crazy to me. Like, because
who wants to play Indiana Jones FPS, bro? Come on, man.
Bro. First of all, you don't like first-person shooters because you can't see the costume. That's great.
Why would I? I'm out here buying skins. I can't even see the freaking skins I bought, bro. It's corny. Bro. That's why I like. That's why Fortnite is like the greatest.
Well, first of all, you don't have to buy the skins. Number one, and number two, like the outfit that he's wearing is superficial compared to the gameplay. Like the gameplay has got to be number one priority.
Yeah. But you have both. You know what I mean? Like when I play Hogwarts, bro, it's just like I get to choose my fits. I get to choose my broomstick, and I get to fly around, bro. Oh,
yeah, but Hogwarts makes you do all the side quests to unlock missions. I hate that.
Yeah, true. See, I would do it for a game I love. By the way, bro, off topic, I've been maining Mr. Fantastic and Marvel.
I gotta play bro. I only played it once.
Bro, Mr. Fantastic is freaking now a lot of people don't like using them, but I know how to use them, bro. I dropped a 30 kill bomb last night with him, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. It was fun. It was fun. Let's see. Bucky, I can see I think the same thing. I'm at showrunners for the Lanterns. Did y'all watch the Watchmen miniseries? No, but I heard it was very good. But yeah, I'm not really into Watchmen. I like that.
I do. I always meant to watch it. I just never did.
Yeah. All right, guys. We have one last topic of the night. We're going to get out of here. Andy Muschietti and James Gunn. So, last week we were kind of confused with what was going on because Muschietti said that Brave and the Bold was delayed. James Gunn said it was not. Matt Reeves is talking about the Batman being possibly delayed because he's going through family issues, and there was just or personal issues, not family, personal issues, and there was just so much stuff going on with Batman, and Jerry and I were just confused. Like we were just like, we don't know what's going on. We do have some type of leadway. So, Jerry, can you talk about the art, or can you talk about the post that you sent me earlier?
Yeah. So let me look at it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says although Andy Muschietti and James Gunn have not met face to face since the filming of Superman, a source close to the parties confirmed Andy and Gunn speak regularly. Batman: The Brave and the Bold remains in development and will be separate from Matt Reeves' universe. So this is great news. Basically confirming that they are in contact. He's still working on Batman: Brave and the Bold. You know, which I think, and it can, the misinformation, I guess we'll call it, came from Andy Muschietti, was like on a podcast or a YouTube or whatever, and he, I think, was speaking in Italian or Spanish or whatever his native language probably is, and he, people were like, "Oh, that's weird. Andy Muschietti and James Gunn haven't spoken since before Superman was filmed." So it sounded like they weren't really in contact, and it kind of sounded like Andy Muschietti was probably not going to be making Superman if they haven't spoken in that long. So that
Batman.
What?
Oh, you said Superman, Batman.
Yeah, Batman. I mean Batman. So yeah, I think it's great news. Listen, I think Andy Muschietti is a great director. I think he did a great job with The Flash. Like I always say, when we saw the fan screening, the entire theater was reacting, engaging with the movie, and cheering the entire time. We do have to say, I don't like Andy Muschietti's comment that he made recently about The Flash.
I hated that too. That pissed me.
Like, bro, and it's comments like that that make you look cocky. Like, you must be really cocky to think you could get away with saying something like that.
Yeah, because he like blamed the studio and the fans. It's like, bro, who do you think you are?
Yeah, well, he basically was like, I don't know if he said all that, but I think he said that the movie failed because fans don't really care for the Flash. Like,
Yeah,
that is not true at all.
but then, but he said something else. So I wish I could find it because he said that the film didn't hit like. He was talking about some type of like corporate word, but he said it didn't hit these it didn't hit the
benchmarks,
metrics that it should have hit, and it made it seem like he was blaming the studio. It was like, bro, like you're like he's one of the only directors that was kind of like handcuffed because of the Ezra situation.
Right.
Like you have been out. Don't ruin that.
Yeah.
You have an excuse.
Gosh. Well, I don't think he wants to put Ezra under the bus either.
I think he did though.
Oh.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta find the full quote. Hold on. Hold on. I got it somewhere, dude. Oh, so so on my X, I have all these like I have like the top pages where like everything that they posted pops up. Just so.
Okay.
So I'll be like stalking. All right, everything. So there's just so if you guys want to know what's always going on, there is a X page called everything _ DCU, and they literally post everything. Like if James Gunn took a dump and it spelled out DCU, they would post that. Literally. Bro. Like, dude, they post everything, but now I can't find it. Did they delete it? Okay, I guess I can't find it. Brave and the Bold remains in active development. Oh, you have it?
No, I'm just looking at the same thing I said. I see the top one remains in active development.
Yeah. I think I found it. No, that's something else. Okay, I guess they don't.
Hold on, I'm going to search.
Might have been Culture Crave. But yeah, like, but yeah, if you guys want to know all Marvel news, Cosmic Marvel, they literally post everything Marvel news. If you want to learn about, if you want all DC news, you go for everything DCU.
Bro, screw that. Follow Stevie. He posts everything.
Facts, bro. I have to post everything.
Yeah. So and I'm seeing this also. He said, as for my involvement with the project, there are good intentions for now. They want to make the film with me, and I want to do it too. I'm looking forward to working on the film. So he also confirmed separately that he is making the Batman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here it is. This is what he was talking about. Apart from the other reasons, it wasn't a movie that appealed to the 4 quadrants.
Yes.
That's where I thought he was. That's where I felt like he was blaming the studio a little bit.
No, I think the 4 quadrants comes down to some kind of. It might be a film lingo thing. Did I say film? Oh my god!
What is the 4 quadrants movie? We're going to get
the 4 quadrants of female. It's something. It has something to do with like the female audience.
Okay, here it is. It says this. The 4 quadrants are a way to describe movies that appeal to all demographics. And here are the 4 quadrants: males over 25, males under 25, females over 25, and females under 25. Those are the 4 quadrants.
Okay. He might not be wrong about the female piece, because let me tell you, there were very few females at our screening.
Facts. And the one that was there, she was forced by her husband.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. He said, when you spend $200 million on making a movie, Warner wants you to bring even your grandma to the theaters. And I found out in private conversations that a lot of people just don't care about the Flash as a character, particularly the 2, you're right, the 2 female quadrants. All that is wind going against the movie that I learned about. So I hope he doesn't use this as an excuse to make Batman Brave and the Bold female centric, which I don't think James Gunn would even go for.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. Muschietti Batman stuff was awesome. Like, if he can make Michael Keaton look dope, imagine what he's going to do with like a younger Batman. You know what I mean?
Also, I hated the bat suit in the Affleck suit.
Oh, it was ugly.
The cowl, the mask was so bad. But Affleck's Batman in the small scenes that he was in, bro, the Bruce Wayne scene outside of Barry's apartment was incredible.
Yeah. And even though those suits were bad, bro, the blue and gray, I thought he made it work.
But that was during the day. It wouldn't look the same in a night sky in Gotham.
True. And shout out to James Gunn for spotting that Andy has talent, because Andy worked with all that he could. Trust me. And I do think that mid Batman suit was due to had to be a freaking budget cut or something. Had to be. But then I would say Andy just used the Snyder Batman suit. But topic for another day. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like I said that before. But yeah. So all right, guys, we're gonna end the episode here. We hope you guys had a great time talking superheroes with us tonight. We upload every day, shorts content, long form content. Check that out. But we hope you guys have a great night. Stay crispy, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Peace out.
Peace.